first on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Well, good morning to you and welcome into Fox 10 Midday on this Friday. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell. We have officially made it to the weekend.
Yes, and I'm meteorologist Hannah Fink, and warm weather too on top of it. I think it's safe to say we're probably done with freeze warnings. I'm hoping.
Goodness.
I don't want to say we're done officially because last time I said that we had them.
Don't want to jump
week.
the gun now.
So I don't want to jump the gun, but I think I'm 90% sure we're done.
Yes, and it's the first day of spring, so it couldn't be a better day here for us.
It is, and so many people are outside enjoying the beautiful weather. All of our beach cams, you can see how crowded the beaches are over at Orange Beach as well as Dauphin Island. People are out enjoying going out and enjoy the beautiful weather we're having. A lot of people are out and about right now, especially since so many people are getting close to their lunch break. And here's a look at our temperatures right now. It's about 70 degrees here in Mobile, so definitely getting a little toasty out there. 68 degrees in Gulf Shores, 73 in Milton, 70 in Evergreen, 67 in Chatham, 70 in Calvert, and 67 over in Leakesville. Dew points right now on the drier side, so we're not going to feel any of that humidity. So luckily with the warmer temperatures, we don't have to deal with the humidity contributing to any feels like temperatures. So whatever number you see on your Fox 10 weather app, that is the temperature is going to be outside. Low humidity throughout the day today. In Almanac, we're above average. We're usually forecasting about 73 degrees this time of year. We're going to have a high of about 77 today. Some of us even getting into the 80s, as you could tell by the time we get to our highs. But next 5 hours will be into the lower 70s by noon, then the upper 70s starting at 2 o'clock, and we'll be in the upper 70s for a good portion of the afternoon. And here's a look at those forecast highs. Some of us are going to be about 80 degrees or just barely there in the upper 70s with a high of 79 in Grove Hill, 81 in Leakesville, 77 in Mobile, 75 in Pensacola, and 78 over in Crestview. So for your afternoon planner, definitely recommend getting outside and enjoying this weather. It was very cold to start the week, and it's going to be very warm to end our week. And then for your beach forecast over there this weekend, low risk of rip currents, which is great news for our spring breakers. A lot of people are out enjoying the beach now. Just do be cautious and pay attention to those beach flags. Temperatures will be in the mid 70s with a high UV. And thanks to these warmer temperatures coming into our area, thanks to an area of high pressure that is going to move in to our area. That's that hill shape off to our west. And what is this going to do for us? Well, temperature outlook, according to the Climate Prediction Center, we're going to have warmer than average temperatures. So definitely a warm feel to welcome in spring. We'll have a more detailed look at your forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, Hannah, thank you. And first in our headlines today, a 5-year-old boy from Wilmer is facing a long road to recovery this morning after his family says he was struck by a car. Now, we want to warn you, some of the photos you are about to see may be disturbing. Kevin Harmon says his son Caden was riding his bike with his brothers on Renee Court Sunday when a vehicle came down the road and crashed into him. Harmon says Caden was rushed to the hospital with several injuries, including a broken femur. Despite surgery and the pain, Harmon says Caden is doing his best to stay in good spirits there. For Harmon and his wife, he says the accident has added more stress to their situation, but they are staying strong for their little boy.
We've been here since Sunday night. Me and my wife ain't had no sleep. My wife had surgery 3 weeks ago now, today. So, I've had to, take off of work to be here because she's not able to lift him up.
Just what a precious little boy in these pictures here. We have more information on how you can help this family on our website, fox10tv.com. Meanwhile, authorities say there have been 4 fatal collisions resulting in 6 deaths in the 7 months since Amtrak passenger service returned to the Gulf Coast. Now they are working to prevent another tragedy from happening. Mobile police say too many people are ignoring crossing signals. And investigators say that happened last month in Theodore, where a mother and daughter were killed at the Bellengrath Road crossing after officers say their vehicle went around flashing lights and lowered arms. Officials stress trains can't stop quickly, and Amtrak moves even faster than many drivers expect. Police also say if you see a crossing signal malfunctioning, report it right away to 1-800-232-0144. We have it posted on our website as well at fox10tv.com. And we're going even deeper right now on the Fox 10 Gulfstream TV app. Sarah Wall's taking a closer look into the new safety campaign designed to keep drivers safe at these railroad crossings. Also, why officials say it's so important and how it could impact you and your family. In Depth with Sarah Wall, Railroad Crossing Safety is available for you now on the Fox 10 Gulfstream TV app. Well, the Walton County, Florida Sheriff's Office has been very busy this spring break, but their biggest problem hasn't been at the beaches. The Sheriff's Office says they have spent the last week assisting property owners with evictions. Deputies say students from LSU, Ole Miss, the University of Texas, Oklahoma State, and the University of Alabama have all been evicted from different homes in just over a week. In most cases, the renter was there, but the Sheriff's Office says they can still be held responsible.
If you rent a house and you allow people to come to the house and party, or you're providing alcohol, you can be charged with contributing to delinquency of a minor. You can be charged with that open house party because you ultimately are the one that is responsible for that home.
And the Walton County Sheriff's Office says they keep track of which schools are on spring break and bring in extra staff on weeks when students from bigger schools are likely to visit. The war with Iran is about to enter its fourth week, and there are still no signs the U.S. is pulling back, even though President Trump insists it will be over soon. In recent days, energy has become the main focus, with both sides targeting oil and gas sites in the Gulf region. And that's pushing fuel prices even higher here at home. Fox's Rebecca Castor has more from Washington.
The U.S. and Israel's war with Iran reached a new level this week after the Israelis hit Iran's massive South Pars gas field. Tehran fired back, hitting energy sites in Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Israel. Global oil and gas prices have soared, hitting President Trump where it hurts, Americans' wallets.
Israel acted alone against the Slawiya gas compound. Fact number two, President Trump asked us to hold off on future attacks, and we're holding out.
I told him don't do that, and he won't do that.
Gas prices are up nearly $1 a gallon since the war started. Now the International Energy Agency is offering some tips to help consumers adjust to the new prices. They recommend working from home, lowering your speed by about 6 miles per hour, using public transportation, and avoiding air travel.
What Iran wants to do is drive up the price, literally, for the United States and Israel of carrying on this war.
The U.S. is releasing 172 million barrels of emergency oil from reserves to help ease prices, and will likely do the same for Iranian oil already at sea.
About 140 million barrels, so depending on how you count it, that's 10 days to 2 weeks of supply. In essence, we will be using the Iranian barrels against the Iranians to keep the price down.
One would hope that when those supplies are sold, that it doesn't go into some sort of treasury where they can replenish weapons.
How long this campaign continues remains the big question. President Trump says the mission is ahead of schedule, but about 5,000 U.S. sailors and Marines are still headed to the region. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
1 year after President Trump called for the Education Department to close, his administration is taking another step towards dismantling it. On Thursday, the agency announced that the Treasury will now manage student loans whose borrowers are in default and eventually take over the full loan portfolio. Education Secretary Linda McMahon claims the new arrangement will streamline the way student loans are handled.
On the FAFSA form, we rely on financial information, IRS information, and so it comes much more quickly from Treasury.
Her department has been transferring much of its work to other agencies in an attempt to convince Congress it's no longer needed. But getting support has been far from easy. Critics argue the Treasury takeover will make it harder for borrowers to figure out their repayment options, and they're calling on the administration to adjust its priorities. Even with the Treasury now in control, though, the Trump administration says borrowers can continue to repay their loans the exact same way. Take a look at this. A massive fire at an auto parts factory in South Korea left dozens injured. According to the National Fire Agency, more than 50 people were hurt, 24 of them seriously. And they believe an explosion likely triggered the blaze on your screen. A local fire chief says authorities are searching for more than a dozen people who were left unaccounted for. 170 workers were inside this factory when the fire broke out. Some were seen jumping out of a building to escape. We're told more than 500 firefighters were deployed to the scene as they worked to put out the fire. Well, dramatic video from a body-worn camera showing the moments a trooper is struck by a car. Look at this. New York State Police say troopers were conducting a traffic stop on a Mercedes on a thruway in Mamaroneck, New York on March 15th. Moments later, a Chevy Suburban driven by a 24-year-old man rear-ended the trooper's patrol car. The patrol car then hit the Mercedes, causing it to strike one of the troopers. Amazingly, the trooper only suffered minor injuries. The incident is now under investigation. Some terrifying moments there. It's 11:10 on your Friday now. Coming up on Fox 10 Midday, it's an action-packed weekend all across the Gulf Coast as spring begins. There are several events happening, and we'll have a preview in just a few minutes. But first, Hannah, is the weather going to cooperate?
Yes, it is. We're going to have beautiful weather across the Gulf Coast, but let's take a look at your catnap forecast for Miss Ebony, submitted by Deborah Jones. 73 degrees, definitely warm by the time we get to noon, and upper 70s by the time we get through the lunchtime hours into the early evening hours. A warm catnap forecast for you today and much warmer temperatures into the weekend. We'll have a look at that in just a bit after these messages.
If you've ever twisted your knee during a pickup basketball game or landed wrong on the soccer field, you know that sinking feeling and, of course, the questions that follow. How bad is it? Will I need surgery? And how long will I be out? Well, today we're diving into all of that and more with someone who answers these questions every single day. Please join me now in welcoming Dr. Christopher Patton from Bienville Orthopedic Group. Dr. Patton, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you.
So this is obviously a very timely conversation for those who are competitive like myself on the pickleball court. When someone gets injured, for instance, on the court, how do you determine what injury they have?
Well, the first thing you want to do is take a history. What happened? Did you hear or feel a pop? Did you twist your knee? Did you fall on your knee? That's important, taking a good history, and that can help eliminate certain things. And then, of course, you want to do a physical exam and do some tests on the knee and to see about stability. And then after you do a history and a physical examination, we look at x-rays, make sure that nothing's broken. And a lot of times there is nothing broken. And if we have to, we can get an MRI test, which is a fancy test to look at the soft tissues of the knee.
Okay, and I assume that not all knee injuries require surgery, but what are some of those telltale signs that they do?
Well, often if you have sudden onset of swelling, particularly within an hour, that can be a sign that you tore one of the major ligaments in your knee called the ACL, or anterior cruciate ligament. Also, big pops in the knee that suddenly you have a difficulty bending or straightening out your knee can be a cartilage tear called the meniscus, and often they require surgery. So there are certain things in the knee that you don't need surgery for, and of course most of the things we see don't need surgery, but there are certain structures in the knee that can get damaged that do require surgery.
Sure, and I know that knee injuries impact every demographic, but who do you primarily see in your office?
Well, I see all ages, from the young folks all the way to older people, particularly now with pickleball. There's a lot of knee injuries in all age groups because it's the fastest growing sport in America. So, and you do see a lot of knee injuries with pickleball.
Absolutely, especially right now. I'm in the pickleball crowd, like I said earlier. If surgery is necessary on the knee, though, how long is the recovery?
Well, depending on what the structure that you're taking care of, it can be anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks recovery or 6 to 9 months from a major ligament reconstruction.
Gotcha. I know that you're the expert on this topic. You see people who have knee injuries every single day. If someone would like to see you, how can they do that?
Well, you can reach out on the phone at area code 228-230-2663 or reach out to BienvilleOrtho.com.
Wonderful. Dr. Patton, thank you so much for being here today. If you're watching now and you believe this interview would be helpful for you or someone else in your life, or if you'd simply like to schedule an appointment with Dr. Patton, you can do that by visiting our website, fox10tv.com. Dr. Patton, thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
Taking a live look outside of everybody I am currently jealous of, enjoying the beautiful beach weather we are having over in Pensacola. Make sure you have that sunscreen on, but boy, are those waters looking beautiful right now. But let's take a look at our headlines. Cooler mornings are ahead. Cooler, not chilly, so definitely a difference compared to how we started the week and now we're ending the week. And warm and sunny afternoons are going to continue for us here along the Gulf Coast. And we have warm spring weekend ahead, and overall temperatures are going to continue to be that way. So let's take a look at our forecast highs today. A lot of us are going to be grazing about 80 degrees. That's well above average. Usually we're about 73 degrees this time of year. Well, a lot of us are going to be close to 80, especially in the more inland areas. We'll be grazing that. 79 for a high in Grove Hill, 80 in Evergreen, 81 in Calver, 81 in Chatham, 80 in Loosedale, 77 here for a high in Mobile, 73 in Gulf Shores, and 73 over in Navarre. Taking a look at our afternoon planner, we're going to be in the upper 70s starting about 1 o'clock, and they'll stay pretty consistent till the early evening hours, but mainly sunny skies. And if you are going to be outside, yes, sunscreen is definitely a must. Then when we transition into tonight's forecast, much cooler than what it has been, about 54 degrees, which is right where we're supposed to be, maybe a few degrees above average. More inland areas are going to be closer to the lower 50s, maybe even upper 40s, but still not a terrible night. Mainly clear skies, 0% chance for rain, and southwest winds around 9 miles per hour. Now let's take a look at our beach forecast. Everybody is enjoying the water today, and I don't blame them. It's great weather out there. We have a low risk of rip currents, 67 for a temperature over in Dauphin Island, maybe a little bit closer to 70 degrees. And then moving over into Gulf Shores as well as Orange Beach, 72 in Orange Beach for a high, then 73 in Gulf Shores with sunny skies out there. And then we're going to move into our Florida beaches. We're going to have a temperature of about 71 over in Pensacola Beach, low risk of rip currents over there as well. And then moving towards Navarre as well as Windhaven Beach, 72 in Windhaven and 73 in Navarre Beach. And then we're going to move over to Fort Walton Beach, which is going to be a high of about 72, then 7 over in Destin. Like I said, low risk of rip currents, but you're going to want to be extra cautious out there and pay attention to those beach flags. But luckily for spring breakers, low risk of rip currents is going to continue on, which is great news, but always be careful and pay attention to those beach flags. Usually we see yellow flags waving at our beaches more than anything, and that's even with a low risk of rip currents, so do know that. But also be cautious in case we see some purple flags out there. Dangerous marine life, and do keep in mind each individual beach can change their flags at any given moment. So they can be different from Dauphin Island compared to Pensacola Beach, so that's one thing to know. But going into our weekend outlook, 80s for both Saturday and Sunday with mostly sunny skies. And that's thanks to some high pressure moving into our area. High pressure will start to make its way into the Gulf Coast area by this weekend, giving us 80s across the board for our temperatures. And on top of that, much drier air is going to arrive to our area as well. That's what this black and brown shading is with that high pressure system. So what does that mean for us? That means rain is not going to be in the forecast. For this month, though, we're not too far off from the departure from normal, but we're nearly 7 inches off for our year as a whole. So definitely dry out there. And the Climate Prediction Center does have us in a drier than normal pattern for the next 6 to 10 days. So you're going to make sure you get a watering schedule, especially because our drought is probably going to worsen in the next couple of days. We'll know by the time we get into next week, Thursday, how this is going to affect us. So make sure you take care of those plants, because a lot of people will be planting this weekend with how nice it is. 80s for your temperatures this weekend. That's staying consistent into next week, and cooler mornings, but probably even warmer by the time we get into next weekend.
Thanks, Hannah. Already a lovely day out there in Orange Beach today. The Wharf Boat and Yacht Show is already underway. The show has turned into the premier boat show in the Southeast, with top brands and dealers showing off their latest models. And today, Fox 10 Locals Day as well. You can get in for just $10, and we're also doing some giveaways there. Meanwhile, you can get more information right now on our website, fox10tv.com. We saw Joe and Chelsea out there several times today during Studio 10, and they were living the dream on some of those yachts. I know they'd love to see you out there today. Well, meanwhile, the Rubber Ducky Regatta benefiting Ronald McDonald House of Mobile is happening tomorrow at OWA in Foley. Up to 10,000 adopted rubber ducks will be dropped into the lake and will race to the finish line. The top 3 will win prizes. Now, there are 5 packages you can buy, starting with 1 duck for $5. There will also be cooking demonstrations, a scavenger hunt, train rides, bouncy houses, and other activities. So something for everyone. All of the fun starts at 11 a.m. tomorrow and goes until 5 p.m. And be sure to come check out the Fox 10 Storm Tracker tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at Touch a Truck. Fox 10 meteorologists will be there to show you the ins and outs of the Storm Tracker vehicle. There will also be construction trucks, emergency vehicles, and other really big machines that you can climb inside, meet the operators, and of course explore. The cost is $25 per car, and it's being held at the grounds in West Mobile. And better yet, the event benefits Adoption Rocks as well. Still to come on Fox 10 Midday, legendary actor Chuck Norris's family announcing that this morning he has passed away at the age of 86. We take a look back at his life in Hollywood after this. Your time, 11:23. Welcome back. Hollywood tough guy and martial arts star Chuck Norris has died at the age of 86. His family confirmed the news on social media earlier today, and according to news reports, Norris suffered some kind of medical emergency in Hawaii on Thursday. CNN's Stephanie Alum takes a look back at his remarkable life.
I was a very shy, introverted kid growing up.
Chuck Norris didn't stay that way for long, thanks to the martial arts.
I was sent to Korea when I was in the Air Force, and I started training over there, and then I came back and got out of the service and started teaching. And to get students in my school, I became a karate fighter.
Some of those students were stars like Steve McQueen, who encouraged him to become an actor.
I retired as the world karate champion, and I was looking for something to get involved in, a new goal for myself. And I had thought about acting. I talked to Steve McQueen about it, and he encouraged me to pursue it. He said if I would apply myself like I did the martial arts, that I would maybe have a chance at it.
Norris's first memorable part was Bruce Lee's furry and formidable opponent in 1972's Way of the Dragon. 5 years later, he landed his first leading role as a truck driver searching for his missing brother in Breaker Breaker. Throughout the 70s and 80s, Norris made a name for himself as a rugged action hero in movies like Lone Wolf McQuade, Missing in Action, and Delta Force. With his film career cooling off in the 90s, Norris made the switch to television. The tough guy won new fans with his long-running series, Walker, Texas Ranger.
You have the right to remain silent.
Off-screen, Norris was a supporter of conservative causes and candidates like former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee.
This race is extremely important for all of us.
A born-again Christian, Norris expressed his faith as an author and columnist and advocated for religious education in public schools. In later years, he became an internet sensation as the subject of humorous Chuck Norris Facts, which satirized his tougher-than-tough image. He read a few of his favorites on the Best Damn Sports Show, period.
When the boogeyman goes to sleep every night, he checks his closet for Chuck Norris.
Norris kept poking fun at himself when he returned to the big screen in The Expendables 2.
I heard another rumor that you were bitten by a king cobra.
Yeah, I was. But after 5 days of agonizing pain, the cobra died.
Online, on screen, and on the mat, Chuck Norris struck a chord with the public and left his mark as a performer and an athlete.
And I know he'll be missed by many, our hearts certainly with his loved ones today. It is 11:28 now. Still to come, a new Amazon smartphone is in the works. That story and more in your business news. Plus, Citronelle continues its downtown revitalization project. Stephen Moody was there as a new mural was unveiled. Look at that. We'll take you there after this.
Committed to you. This is Fox 10 Midday.
Taking a look now at your half-hour headlines on this Friday. First, a verdict is reached in the capital murder trial of Ibrahim Yazid. The jury found him guilty of murder and felony murder in the death of Anaya Blanchard back in 2019. Since Yazid was not found guilty of capital murder, he's no longer facing the death penalty. The case brought about Anaya's law in Alabama, allowing judges to deny bail to defendants charged with violent crimes. Since Yazid was out on bail at the time of the murder, Yazid is set to be sentenced on May 7th. And then a tragic ending in the search for a missing University of Alabama student. Police in Spain say they recovered the body of Jimmy Gracie just days after this 20-year-old went missing while on spring break. His body was found in the water off a beach, and investigators say they don't believe foul play was involved, but his disappearance and death are now raising serious questions on what exactly happened that night. He was last seen around a nightclub early Tuesday morning, but got separated from his group. Now the family has asked for prayers and privacy, and police say their investigation into his death is still ongoing this morning. And finally, some big news to report out of Baldwin County. School Superintendent Eddie Tyler announces he is retiring from the Baldwin County Public School System. We're told his announcement came in a letter to parents from the school system. And according to that letter, Superintendent Tyler Wills stays on through June 30th. Assistant Superintendent Marty McCray will serve as interim until the school board selects a new superintendent. Superintendent Tyler, meanwhile, says he's stepping away after a 50-year career in education, and he expressed deep gratitude for the growth of the Baldwin County school system. Turning now to our business news today, a shipping giant reports a record holiday profit. The company going after an unliver's food biz. A new Amazon smartphone is also in the works, and new studies on boosting brain health. Here's Fox's CJ Papa with today's Fox Business Briefs.
Business is much better than expected at FedEx, easily topping last year, and shares of the package delivery giant are up. FedEx also remains optimistic about this year. It is in the process of separating its freight division, which competes with Old Dominion. Consumer product giant Unilever, which makes Hellmann's mayonnaise, is looking to pare down some brands and focus on its beauty and personal care products like Dove soap and Tresemme shampoo. Spice maker McCormick is interested in its food business. Food is only about a quarter of Unilever's sales. Reuters says Amazon is working on a new smartphone. Its Fire phone was a flop more than a decade ago. The new phone would sync with Assistant Alexa and serve Amazon customers. And new studies show people can boost their brain health by doing more mentally stimulating activities.
How much more interactions can I do? How much studying of the computer? How much preparation? How much reading? All of that is brain activity. And speed training, how much can you get your brain to process quickly? That decreases your risk of Alzheimer's by 25%.
CJ Papa, Fox News.
Taking another live look outside, this time over at Fairhope Pier. Looking a little busy this afternoon. Definitely beautiful weather to be outside. A small breeze coming off of the Bayway waters right now. Definitely jealous of everybody enjoying this beautiful weather we're having. As you make your way out the door for the next few hours, temperatures are going to be on the warmer side. 73 degrees by noon. Then we'll be in the upper 70s starting at 1 o'clock. Mid 70s by the time we get to 5 p.m. Maybe a little bit of a wind gust out there, but overall not too shabby. And lower humidity for our day today with plenty of sunshine. So let's look at our temperatures based off of each individual location across the Fox 10 viewing area. 72 in Pascagoula for a high, 78 in Hurley, and 81 over in Leakesville. Moving into our more inland areas, we'll have a high of 81 in Jackson, 80 in Thomasville, 81 in Beatrice, 80 in Evergreen, 79 in Bradley, and then 81 over in Fruitdale. Moving into Mobile and Baldwin County, we'll have a high of 77 here in Mobile, 76 in Grand Bay, 80 in Citronelle, 79 in Bay Minette, 76 in Robertsdale, and 73 over in Gulf Shores. Then moving into Northwest Florida, we'll have a high of 73 in Pensacola, 79 in Walnut Hill, 79 in Munson, 73 in Navarre, 70 in Destin, and then 74 over in Niceville. Then moving into our beach forecast, since many people are enjoying the outdoor weather, it's spring break for quite a few folks out there. So we're going to continue to have a low risk of rip currents over the next 3-day period. But do pay attention to those beach flags. They can change at any given moment. Beach flags can be different at different beaches as well, especially if dangerous marine life is out there. So that is a purple flag. So do pay attention to that. But temperatures overall are going to be great. 73 today and then 75 both Saturday and Sunday. So beautiful weather out there. Make sure you pack that sunscreen though, as we'll have a high UV rate. So 75 degrees by our evening hour at 5 o'clock. So it's going to be warm until about the 7 o'clock hour. When we get into the upper 60s, then we'll get into the lower 60s by 9 o'clock tonight. Then tonight's overall forecast, we're going to be right where we're supposed to be. We'll be in the lower to mid 50s across the area. So a cooler night, but mostly clear skies out there. And here's a look at our day planner tomorrow. much warmer than it is today. We'll actually have a warmer start. We'll be in the upper 50s by 8 a.m. Then already near 80 degrees by the time we get into the afternoon, then upper 60s by 8 p.m. That's going to stay consistent for a weekend outlook. We're going to be near 80 degrees tomorrow for a high. Some of us probably in the lower 80s, especially in more inland areas. Then 81 on Sunday, so slightly warmer on our day for our Sunday, but mostly sunny skies and no chance for rain. Then moving into our 7-day forecast, today is the first official day of spring. And what better way to welcome in spring than with warm, sunny temperatures? So we'll be in the 80s pretty consistently over the next 7-day period, mainly because high pressure is in, and that means less cloud coverage, no chance for rain. So you're going to want to be consistent with watering those plants. Many people are going to be planting this weekend just because of how nice it is going to be, lower humidity. Many people are probably going to be starting to get their pools ramped up and definitely having a beach day. So it's going to be nice for outdoor activities. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself, staying hydrated, and keeping those plants hydrated as well.
All right, great reminders there, Hannah. Thank you. Meanwhile, the Billy Goat Hole renovation project on Dauphin Island is officially complete. A ribbon cutting ceremony happening just a couple of hours ago. During the renovation project, new boat ramps and docks were installed there, approximately 30 feet further from Bienville Boulevard, to allow more room for vehicles to maneuver safely and efficiently, ultimately reducing impacts to local traffic. These new docks here feature composite decking material and include an improved parking area, the addition of an ADA compliant lift, and a brand new wheelchair ramp that improves access to the restrooms and concession area. So if you're heading out that way during the springtime, something to keep in mind. Well, the city of Citronelle continued its downtown revitalization today with the unveiling of a new mural. Fox 10's Stephen Moody has much more on what the mural represents and the excitement surrounding the city.
Citronelle is inspired and working hard to bring Main Street back to life. And the next step of that was revealed with this mural. It was unveiled right at 9:46 to go along with the spring equinox. Located on the south wall of 19265 North Main Street, facing the WIC office building, it's a beautiful image which represents the city perfectly.
And we got multiple projects going on here on Main Street, and one of the most exciting ones is this brand new mural that is dedicated to the people of Citronelle. It's supposed to represent 5 elements that we believe strongly influence life here, which is pine, oak, water, sun, and family.
The corporation has spent time in the last few months helping to open new businesses, clean out old buildings, and launching a website, all to build a buzz in the city. And for the artist, Crystal Nicholson, she's glad to see it coming back to life.
I grew up in Citronelle, and when I was a kid, Main Street was where all the businesses were. It was hopping, and I'm just happy to see these buildings revived and somebody interested in making something for the kids. And I've had a lot of people drive by and say that this gives them hope and that they'll see this and they'll feel inspired and stuff. And they're happy to see something happening down here after all this time.
And as residents and visitors ride through the area, they'll know that something special is happening here.
I hope that they take away hope and faith that we can do this. It's a giant project. Our downtown area has been blighted for a number of years, and it's an ambitious project, but we think we've got it, and we're hoping to get back to that and promote Citronelle as a destination where people can come and be outside and enjoy themselves, and live the good life here in Citronelle.
Stephen Moody, Fox 10 News.
Well, spring is officially in the air, and it's the first day of spring today, by the way. And if you're looking to spruce up your backyard or renovate your home, the Mobile Convention Center is the place to be. The Home and Garden kicks off today, and it's about more than curb appeal. Proceeds benefit the ECMO program at Providence Hospital, a life-saving treatment that temporarily takes over the work of the heart and lungs so patients can rest and heal. It really is incredible technology. Now, the show gives people home improvement inspiration while supporting that program, and it runs through Sunday, so plenty of opportunities to get out there. We have a link for tickets and more information on our website. Again, that's fox10tv.com. And it's also time once again for the annual Fairhope Arts and Crafts Festival. This marks the 74th year for the event. More than 200 vendors from across the U.S. and Canada are going to be showing off their work this weekend, and there you can enjoy great food, entertainment, and of course find that special something for maybe a loved one or friend in your life. Festival hours run from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. today through Sunday. I'm looking forward to checking out this festival myself. Always a wonderful time. A new football program in Gulf Shores is giving overlooked athletes a second chance to keep their college dreams alive. The Alabama Rays, a new junior college prep team, will launch this fall, competing in the National Junior College Prep League. The program is designed for players ages 17 to 23 who may have been overlooked or need an extra year of development without burning eligibility. Nearly 200 athletes have already applied, with just 100 spots available, and 40 have already committed. Players will live and train in Gulf Shores while also gaining real-life experience through jobs with the Hangout Hospitality Group. Head coach Matt Lippem says this is all about opening doors.
The transfer portal going on right now, this gives the kids opportunity that got overlooked or may, came from a smaller school that was not looked at as much. And so this gives them the opportunity to have another year and, another year of basically development and getting coached by very good coaches on our staff.
An incredible initiative here. The team will practice and play at the Gulf Shores Sports Complex with games set for Sundays this fall. 11:43 now on your Friday. Thanks for making Fox 10 Midday a part of your morning. Coming up, a zoo in the UK is showing off its newest babies. We take a look. Plus, Rita's Italian Ice and Frozen Custard is offering free sweet treats today. We will tell you how you can score one coming up in your Midday Talkers right after this. Welcome back in a sweet story on this Friday. The newest baby animals at the UK's largest zoo came out to play as the first signs of spring officially show.
Baby white rhino Mick was seen racing with his mom in the spring sunshine.
What a cutie, while two 4-month-old giraffe calves, Leonie and Duke, galloped around a grassy area, investigating anything they came across.
Whitsunday Zoo, which is officially, they say, while animal newborns stay close to their moms in the first few months, they soon become curious about the world around them and confident enough to explore it.
Oh, they're so sweet. The 3 newborns now join the zoo's conservation breeding programs for their species, which works to protect their population. Hannah, how can we get them?
I don't know, but we might have to take a field trip. I want to bring that rhino home.
Oh, look, he's galloping.
He's so cute.
I don't think I've ever seen a baby rhino this cute.
He's so tiny, and then the baby giraffes too.
He's saying, wait for me.
He's
please.
like, I'm coming.
I got little legs. He has tiny little legs.
I relate, buddy. I relate.
And the little giraffes still so tall, even as babies.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
Oh my
Some
goodness.
beautiful little creatures there. You can celebrate the first day of spring today with an ice cold treat.
Rita's Italian Ice and Frozen Custard is giving away a free 6-ounce Italian ice today.
Refreshing, but the deal gets even sweeter. The dessert chain is introducing its new springtime limited edition Mystery Peeps Italian Ice.
The new mystery flavor is served with a Peeps marshmallow topper and white Italian ice.
Oh, I love Peeps, but customers who can correctly guess the mystery flavor can enter for a chance to win free Rita's for a year, plus some extra Peeps-inspired swag.
To grab your springtime freebie, head to any participating Rita's location. No purchase necessary.
Rita's is expected to serve about 1 million cups of Italian ice today as part of its annual giveaway.
And if you want to take advantage of this, there is a Rita's location in Foley on South Mackenzie Street.
Let's go right now.
We don't even need to do the last 10 minutes of the show. We're all just going to collectively go. Let's all meet up in Foley.
I agree. This is our comeback because yesterday Dairy Queen was giving away free soft serve vanilla cones. The lines were too long. We actually went last night to get one, and bumper to bumper traffic in the parking lot, so we left and went to Cookout
and
to get
terrible traffic in the parking lot. I got into like a weird little thing with 3 cars where like I couldn't even move for
So if you're going to Rita's, maybe something to watch out for if there's some traffic.
Make sure their parking lot is okay before going into it.
Pro tip. We're speaking from experience. And now a story about a duck exploring space.
Something which could only happen in the world of video games.
Yeah, Rick DeMagello reports.
Meet Doug. Doug is a duck in space. Starbrew Games announces Duck Side of the Moon will launch May 7th. The open-world cozy crafting adventure will be playable on PC and Nintendo Switch.
You see that? Could be a serious injury. I'm a police officer.
It's an ambulance driving update for The Precinct. The Sandbox Sim has added ambulance-focused missions to its first responder gameplay. The free update is out now for PC and arriving on scene March 24th for PlayStation and Xbox. Wired Productions has picked up distribution of Logaway. Originally launched in December 2025, the sandbox building experience lets players build and decorate log cabin retreats with a focus on relaxing gameplay. Leveling Up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
A very unexpected day on the links as a sinkhole on a golf course is dug up to reveal a more than century-old secret buried deep underneath. Jeremy Roth has today's story, and take a look at this.
Take a look at a fascinating 100-plus-year-old wine cellar discovered buried beneath a golf course. It started when a groundskeeper at the Davy Hume Park Golf Club in Manchester, England, was inspecting a sinkhole near the course's 13th hole. Thinking it was a collapsed drain in need of repair, they started digging and discovered it was instead a sealed 19th century wine cellar packed with empty age-old wine and port bottles. The BBC reports officials believe the cellar had been sealed for more than 100 years and may have been part of a former manor that dated back to the 12th century, but was demolished in 1888. The golf club shared pics and vids of the fascinating find on social media, removed the historic bottles for safekeeping, and sealed the cellar back up while they decide what to do with it next. From a super cool discovery to an ice-cold rescue. Watch a Michigan-based Coast Guard cutter crew rescue a lost snowmobiler stranded on a drifting and rapidly shrinking piece of ice in frigid Lake Huron. Windy, whiteout conditions made an aerial rescue attempt unfeasible, so the crew dispatched and found the snowmobiler on a floating chunk of ice. He was brought aboard and, according to the Coast Guard, was exhibiting hypothermia symptoms, but received aid and was eventually stabilized. The crew also hoisted the snowmobile aboard just as the floating patch was reduced to nearly nothing. Finally, an escaped horse that got lost in blizzard conditions received help from a Michigan State Patrol trooper who braved the blustering winds to help guide the filly to a nearby barn until her owners could be contacted. The barn's primary tenant seemed captivated and, who knows, maybe even a little hot to trot by its new roomie. Nay, girl, nay. I'm an idiot. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Gotta love Jeremy and his sound effects on
Jeremy.
this Friday. A sweet story there, but really thankful, Hannah, that we do not have the snow flurries.
That is all I'm happy about, and I think we're done with that too. Any chance of it, we're going to have 80s in the long-term forecast. Backyard forecast for today, we're going to be in the upper 70s till about 5 o'clock this evening. There will be about into the upper 60s by 7 o'clock. Sunny conditions, no chance for rain overall. Pleasant feel just because of no humidity. Here's a look at your weekend forecast. Overall, a pleasant morning going into Saturday and Sunday. Then a warm afternoon with mostly sunny skies on Saturday. Another nice day with warm temps and plenty of sunshine for your Sunday. Looking into your 7-day forecast, 80s are going to be the name of the game in the next 7 days. Now, not much cloud coverage thanks to some high pressure, but we're going to see a little bit more cloud coverage coming into the middle parts of next week because a high pressure system will slowly make its way out of our area. But it looks like Monday may be the warmest day this week. And one thing's for sure, if you're going outside this weekend, definitely make sure you have that sunscreen on hand. We're starting to see that high UV start to come back into the forecast. We're going to have pleasant mornings overall, but I'm just happy to see some spring-like temperatures, Ashlyn.
Yeah, me too. And there is so much going on. It's really officially that time of year here on the Gulf Coast. We thank you for spending time with us here on Fox 10 Midday. Much more Fox 10 heading your way. With Fox 10 Live at 3, we will see you in a few hours.